Okay, so once more, I want to welcome you for joining. I want to thank you for adding value to one another. So if you want to share what you learned, last week we started with the lesson of hope. So if you want to share the lesson of hope, what you learned, I think Margaret and Gloria was not here. Lena, you were here, and Maureen, we are here. What was the action you have taken since the last time? What was the action? If anything you want to share, anything that lesson has resonated in your heart and mind. Anyone? Okay. If there is no one want to share today, we just pass it on. Today, we're going to be learning about listening. Focus your attention on understanding other people. The most basic of all human needs is the need to understand and to be understood. The best way to understand people is to listen to them. That is what Ralph Nichols said. The best way to understand people, is to listen to them. Sometimes we hear, but we don't listen. Everyone wants to be heard. You see, listening goes beyond hearing. Listening is what? Understanding, hearing to understand, because we utilize this particular gift every day. We often take it for granted. Like when I started this thing, I practice it myself with my spouse or with my friends. Each time you're talking to someone, whether the person understands your language or not, you like the person to look at you face to face. Sometimes we hear people, we don't listen to them. How do we know? Because if I'm speaking now, sometimes we already have the judgment, what we want to reply. Poor communication are often the cause of this kind of thing. When we fail to our personal and professional relationship, listening is a key component of communication. That's why we are looking at it today. Listening is one of the most important skills that we can have. However, because we utilize this particular skill every day, sometimes we just say, oh, I heard you. Like me walking, you walking, wherever you're walking, sometimes you can ask somebody, did you hear what I said? How do you know that I'm listening to you? What action you took last week? Just remember to write it down. And this week, we're going to just dive in, just focus for a while. Focus your attention. We are learning to lead each other. Okay? When we misunderstand people around us, it is often because we are not listening closely. Sometimes my spouse will ask me, did you hear what I said? Maybe she's just talking to me, or someone is talking to you, you're on your phone, and you just flip and say, okay, what did you say? He will just say, but I've been talking to you now. We all does not like it. You does not like it. So as a leader, as an aspiring leader, someone that wants to add value to other people, what do? This is as true when we are talking to our co-workers, as we are always talking to also our spouse, our friend. You can be calling someone in Kenya, in Doha, just say, okay, after explaining. It's important when you talk to someone, you ask the person, did you understand what I said? All of us here are from African descent. In Africa, when you say like this, if you nod your head, that is what? Yes. But in India, from the Asians, when they make their hair like this, is what? Yes, that means accepted. But in Africa or in other parts of the world, when someone shakes his head like this, it's no. So you can see there are different communication ways that we understand. So when we listen effectively, we can improve our ability to connect and understand the people that we want to interact with us day by day. Okay? The best kind of listening requires us to set aside internal and external distraction. Right now, we are here to listen. What? Because we want to connect with each other. Change your word is about what? Adding value to one another. So some of us, we have muted our phones. Some of us, we have put our phones on airplane mode because we don't want a distraction. Just like maybe if you go to a religious place and you don't want a distraction, or when you go in the presence of the emir, for example, you will meet your phone. Why? Because you don't want a distraction. In fact, some people, when they go into like Queen Elizabeth, when you go into her presence, sometimes people of the phone, they take your phone away from you because why? They don't need distraction. Same way as a person, if you want to add value to someone, if you want someone to add value to another group, you don't see like me talking and I'm just going to my phone. You'll be irritated, So that is why listening without judgment and interruption is more important. In order to listen at this level, this is the highest level of listening, we have to be emotionally and mentally invested in the conversation. I can see we are all in rapt attention. We want to hear what I'm saying. We have to change our word, how to add value, because we are word changers. For the fact that you're in this transformation table, is because you want to change your world, you want to change your environment. This means that we are fully engaged and fully present while other people is still talking. We must stop what we are doing, make eye contact. When I talk to people, I try to pay attention to their word. It may sound easy, but most of us do not really or truly listen at this level or at this regular level. You understand? When you're listening, we make eye contact. What do the person say? How do the person say what he says? You understand? Not only does listening affect our success and achievement. Did you hear that? See, when you listen, it affects every part of your life, every part of it. You see, that means every part. But most of all, we just listen and just take it casually. By becoming a better listener, let me tell you what you're going to achieve. We are greatly improve our effectiveness in our personal and professional relationship. Did you get that? We can also increase our ability to influence, persuade, and negotiate. That is what listening does. We can be more effective with customers. I don't know, some of us, we have businesses, we are doing business. So if you listen to someone, sometimes we just hear, if someone is talking, you just want to hear what the person is saying or what you are already thinking. But it is not so for us. We can collaborate more effectively with team members when you listen. So as an aspiring leader, when you listen, you can collaborate more because what? You know what the person is saying about this. In every single situation and circumstances, we can benefit from listening to others. See, listening is one of the best ways it can benefit us. Not only, as said before, not only does listening affect our success and achievement, but it also affects our ability to grow. We learn because we listen. We learn because we listen. We grow because we learn. If we miss anything, I'm going to share the slide from the extract of this with you. But just don't miss this one. Just write, we learn because we listen. And we grow because we learn. Good listeners are always seeking to learn from the people around them. The thing that is pitiful about Africa is that we don't listen. We don't ask questions. When someone just tells us something, we just take it. See, but you can see from other parts of the world, they always say, what did he say? What did he just say? Can you repeat yourself? Sometimes we assume that what the person has just said is what you understood. They understand that they can what? As a good listener, you understand that you can learn something from every person that you meet. Never write anybody off. You say, what nonsense is this saying? In that nonsense, sometimes you can get something. You can get the mind of a person if you're here. If you're in a relationship, you can know what your partner is saying. If you are a good listener, that is what we want to achieve. You can know what is it? You know, sometimes we say something, our eye contact. That's why if you're in a relationship, be your spouse, your friend, you say, please, can you look into my eyes and say it again? Why? Because you want to make eye contact, because you want to do what? You want to understand what he's saying, because sometimes what the mouth is saying is not what the heart is speaking. So if you look at somebody that say, you might actually see what the person is saying. If you look at someone's eye, you might actually see what the person is saying or what is meaning or to what he's saying. So if you're a good listener, if you want to change the world, you have to be a good listener. You have to understand this. You have to seek out. Say they understand, good listener. They understand that they can learn from every person. Okay. If we value people and seek to understand them, we can absorb their wisdom and experiences. You know, sometimes we read book. The book we just read is about the 40 years experience of one person. We have just read it in 5 weeks or so. So it's important that what we become good listeners. You listen to me. If someone is saying to, if you pay rapt attention, you will get to hear what that person really means. Wisdom is earned through the continuous time and energy that we invest in listening, learning, observing, and understanding. Okay? There are benefits of listening. Like I always say, there are benefits of listening, you know. So some of the benefits, I'll share my screen so that we can just take some of the benefits together. We take turn to say some of the benefits, we can take it together. Let me just share my screen. Okay. These are some of the benefits of listening. Say people who demonstrate the value of listening display certain characteristics. From my screen, I don't know how Maureen is coming first, and Lynette, Margaret, Gloria. So we have like 5 of them. So we will take turn. You know why we're taking turn? So that this can resonate in us. I might just be speaking and you're just listening. But when I want you to get the information once we speak, then you speak, then that is where we can have a good communication. So, Maureen, you're first to go. What are the benefits of listening? Number 1, can you read for us?
People who demonstrate the value of listening display certain characteristics. 1, these people are disciplined listeners. They consciously choose to speak less and listen more.
Wow, thank you so much. They consciously chose to speak less and listen more. That's why if you go in front of I encourage you, if you go in front of anybody, you want to ask for a loan, you want to speak, just calm down, let the person speak, because when people speak longer, always, continuously, good talkers, sometimes they lie because you want to collaborate your stories. But if you speak less, you say, sometimes we use this phrase, he's a man of little words. You know, he speak less, he do mighty, he do amazing things. So as good listener, as people, word changers, for the fact we are here, this is Change Your Word Transformation Table. For the fact we are here, we're what? Word changers. So if you speak less, you will listen more. But if you are the one who just talking, you might not really get the mind of that person. That is what we are trying to do. So as in our co-workers, as we go to work, in our business, as we maybe give somebody money to do something, you will say, okay, I gave you this, what have you done with it? You don't interrupt someone that's speaking. You might disconnect the information he wants to pass. So learn to not to interrupt people when they're speaking, because you might interject, and the person might switch and not get the right information across it. If you want to be a good communicator, you must be a good listener. Okay, Lynette, number 2, let's go. Benefit of listening. Number 2. Lynette, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
These people are eager to learn. They continually look for the opportunity to grow in every situation and in every conversation.
Thank you so much. So one of the benefits of being a good listener is that what they continually look out for opportunity. Okay, if someone is speaking, what am I going to learn from him? Okay, they are eager to learn, eager to learn, you just see somebody, you are absorbing. I don't know, you take for example a sponge. That's something that we use to bathe. If you put soap and be liquid, the more you put the soap, the more it absorbs it. So a good listener absorbs information well than someone that talks. You say, when we say someone is a talkative or a talker, we use the wrong phrase sometimes. If someone is a talker, that means talks too much and maybe he doesn't listen, he just talked up. So as someone that wants to change your world, learn not to be a talker, just be a good listener. You will lead from that perspective. Okay, Margaret, is your turn. Number 3. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
These people seek the truth. They are not satisfied with superficial information, so they seek questions to get clarity and deeper understanding on conflicts or situations.
Wow. See what he said. Before we go to, he said, people who demonstrate the value of listening display certain character. So when you see someone that asks questions, I always say, because I've trained people from Asia, I've trained people from Europe about this table. In Africa, we don't ask questions. If someone just says something, even if you don't accept it, you just say, okay, let's see how it goes. But as a good listener, if you want to improve yourself, you say, you ask question. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma, it's not clear. Can I get clarity? Can I get understand? Because sometimes what people say, especially if you're in a relationship, if you want your relationship to work, always understand what the person is speaking, deeper understanding. So if you're a good listener, it helps you to avoid what conflict and to also manage the situation. Can you imagine? Even when I talk to my mom, after going through this lesson, because before I went to change your world, before we started, I became a facilitator, and before several years ago, before I became certified, I would just, once I call my mom, I would just talk. Oh, mom, how are you? This, that, what did you do? The woman might be telling me that she's not feeling fine. I just say, did you get the money I received? Did you go to farm today? Did you do this? The woman is trying to communicate, but until I now understand, once I call her now, I will say, hey, mom, how are you? How was your day? She will say, fine. Okay, I went to church today. I went to this meeting. Then that improved our communication level. Can you imagine if you have something that, if you're a good listener, people will communicate to you better, because why? They know that what you seek the truth about them. You want to know the truth. You don't just want to believe in whatever we read. In this age of internet, everybody has news on his palm. You just say, okay, what is the situation today with Kayeta, our president in Kenya? You just Google, and someone has just put it up, because why? They know people want to communicate, people want to see, but people don't listen. If you go to church, or for example, some of us that go to church, or you go to class, or you talk, if someone says something, you say, oh yeah, oh, service was great, oh, the meeting was great. If someone says, okay, what did you get out from the meeting? You spend your 1 hour. I value your time so much. You spend your 1 hour, and we are learning so much. And someone say, oh, they see the change in you, because now you become a good listener. If you go somewhere in the meeting, be the Association of Kenya in Qatar, you just go, you want to hear what the president is saying, what the information you say, are we going to vote from Qatar or not? You're just listening. People will what you're listening with rapt attention, not what behind what people are speaking, because speaking anybody can talk, but you are taking time to listen. Number 4, Gloria, you are next to go.
These
Number
people
4.
These people mediate between opposing viewpoints. They are more concerned with what is right than with who is right.
Yeah, amazing. See, so if you're a good listener, what you have to do is that what you say, they are concerned with what is right and who is right. What is the right? It does not matter. It's coming from whoever is coming from. You know, they meditate, they look at, they listen for the viewpoint, especially in this season of politicians. They can tell us anything. But then if you're a good listener, you will what? You will what? Meditate between the opposing viewpoint. Okay, like when we are in, is it primary school or secondary school? Teachers are better than, I can never forget that debate. Teachers are better than doctors. Or if you ask your children back home, you just say, oh, what did you learn? Can you give a debate? Teachers are better than doctors. Someone say, yes, ma'am, teachers are better than doctors because the teachers teach the doctors. Okay, then you say, okay, that is your viewpoint. Then you hear from the opposing viewpoint. Okay, doctors are better than teachers because if doctor does not save life, teachers are not available. So you as a good listener that is working, you have to hear that opposing viewpoint. Same way, if people are arguing, if being in a relationship, okay, my friend comes to tell me, okay, my spouse do this, I'm dating this person and he's doing like this, you listen. You don't judge from, a good listener does not judge from one viewpoint. You have to listen from the opposing viewpoint where you see, this is what he said, this is how it is, and that's why I've taken up, because I've taken up a mindset coach. You know, people consult me as a mindset coach, and I do that. I always like to listen from both parties because I don't put my emotion to hear. You know, sometimes when people are talking, they always put their emotions and try to say. So one of the good listeners, what the benefit of being good listener is that they are not concerned with who is right. Is it the man that is right, or the woman that is right? Especially when it comes to relationship, you say, is it the man or the woman? No, you listen for the what? The viewpoint. Okay, that is what these people demonstrate. Okay, yeah, matching. So you are to go. Number 5. Matching, right? Mark, did I get it? Yeah, you are right to go. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you. You're 5 to go.
Okay, number 5. These people develop close relationships at work and at home and at work. They make others feel valued and important by listening attentively to their needs and desires.
Okay. Okay. Just see the way some of us are leaning. Margaret is leaning, listening. Lynette is leaning. Gloria is leaning. Everyone is just leaning. See, I feel valid, even if it's my time I'm spending, even if I've paid thousands of dollars to do, but it gives me joy to come back here and do this over again. You know, you develop a close relationship. If you're a good listener, okay, you're just mobbing in the office, like when I go to take my tea. Instead of me to allow my tea boy to bring my tea to my table, I always, because as a leader, I always walk to the kitchen. Okay, surprisingly, this is the fasting period, so we're not allowed to drink tea in our table, so you have to go to the kitchen. So when I go there, I always talk to the tea boy. Now they have become so close to me. They want to tell me, oh, boss, I spend this like this in the weekend, because they know that you're listening to their need. If you're a good listener to your friend, you don't put yourself, you don't put your emotion so that it will not affect you as a good listener. You don't put your emotion to it, because if you put your emotion, you will now start stressing your own health. You go there, you listen, you develop a close relationship. People who want to talk to you at home or at school. Just imagine going to visit your grandmom and everybody say, oh, we are going to visit our friend. All of us, we went there. The woman is talking, you've seen the clip. All of us, we are busy on our phone. You're just looking your phone. How will she feel? But then if you listen, they make other people, if you're a good listener at what they have, that's how they demonstrate. They make people feel valued and important by listening attentive to their needs, whether what you can do and what you cannot do, their desire. That is the practice. So Donald, Donald. So we will start from benefit of listening. If you practice the value of listening, you will experience this benefit. We will start from down again, Donald. So we will see what are the benefits if you practice this. We have seen how to demonstrate. The people that do good listening, what they demonstrate. You know, people, they develop close relationship at work with them. So now, what is the benefit of being a good listener? If you practice this, you will experience, let's see some of the things that we will experience. Donald, I don't think I have Donald on my this team, but I don't know who's Donald now.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. Good to have you.
And you too, sir.
Okay.
You will get to know him better.
Okay.
Going straight to the point, benefit we get from listening, you will establish mutual respect with the people in your life. And when they value what others say, you demonstrate that you will value them and their point of view. This will create sheer loyalty and the trust. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Donald. Okay. So this is it. You will demonstrate what mutual respect. Now I'm speaking, we're demonstrating mutual respect. I'm listening to you, you're listening to me. We create a shared loyalty and trust. You know, when you value other people, you demonstrate this value, this viewpoint. Okay? So now, Donald, Lynette, you're going to read number 2. So I'm starting from down again. Okay, no. Lynette, no. Okay, go. So I'm starting again from my screen. I think it's changing. Oh yeah, number 2.
All right.
Yeah, 2. Benefit of listening. Just see one of the benefits. Is the letters okay? I should make it bigger. You can see properly, right?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can adjust my screen. It's okay. Okay, number 2. You develop conflict resolution skills. Even the most volatile people or situations can often be diffused when they have the opportunity to be. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so.
Should I repeat?
Yeah, repeat because he cautioned there.
All right, number 2. You develop conflict resolution skills. Even the most volatile people or situations can be often diffused when they have the opportunity to be heard.
Okay. Have you seen, take this scenario, you go to a motor park and you see people that are fighting. You just see somebody, one person will go to the other place and the people that are involved in the fracas will now come and speak to the person.
Did you hear
Why?
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I said, if you go take, for example, in the motor park or somewhere that they are having issues, take, for example, in your company, they are having issues or where you work, you know, and you just go outside, you just say, okay, my friend, 2 people are having an argument. You know, you just say, okay, you come. You don't go and start talking to the 2 people the same time. You just say, you come. Okay, what happened? If you see the other person that is having the argument with the person, he has 2 options to do. Is either he come to you and start speaking. You just say, wait, let me just hear him out. So what do you do? That is one of the benefits. Even the most volatile people or situation can often diffuse when they have the opportunity to be heard. You just say, okay. You just say, oh, what happened? Nobody is shouting. You just say, okay, John, you come. What is happening? You call the person aside. You listen to him. He knows that he is being heard. From Africa, where we are coming from, you know about the labor. You know, sometimes the labor say, oh, teachers want more salary, students want more bursary, doctors want more salary. And what do the labor union do? They go to the government, they want, okay, we're going on strike. But when they know that a government is responsible for them to be heard, okay, they will promise them. And what happened? Automatically, that situation is diffused. Okay? The system now changed. So, Margaret, are you there? Number 3.
However, you will learn to grow as you seek out and listen to the valuable knowledge and experience of other people.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Margaret. And thank you, everyone that's reading. You see, you will learn to grow and seek out what you listen for valuable information, keyword. When someone is speaking, you pick out the keyword. What from the experience? If someone right now, I'm sharing everything I'm saying is not written here. They are part of the experience. So if you pay attention, you will get more than what has been said in this. You are picking out, okay, how do I become a good listener? This is what good listener speak. Because sometimes you might not even remember what I've said. You might only remember the example. And those examples and knowledge is what they have helped me and is going to help you to be a good listener. You know, that will benefit you. That's the benefit of you being a good listener. That's the benefit of me being a good listener. Okay. Matrin, you're next to read.
Okay, number 4. You will gain favor and influence with the people because they know you care about what they have to say and how they feel.
Wow, thank you so much, Matrin. Just imagine you are in a relationship. Because you give ear to your spouse or to a relationship, well, everybody wants to be heard. Nobody likes to be shut up. Nobody likes to be shut up. They say, oh, okay, I've heard it before. No, I don't want it. Can you imagine going to your boss and say, oh, madam, yes, sir, this happened. You say, no, I've heard it. By the time he doesn't know that what you are about to pass to him or to her, he has not heard it. Or maybe if he heard it from another person, he has not heard your own view. So never allow people to, never shut people out. Always listen to what someone has to give. You will gain what favor and influence. You know, they know, oh, look, I'm going to talk to Gloria. I know she's going to hear me. And you, as a good listener, never put your emotion when you're listening. If you're a good listener, it will improve your relationship. You understand? Because everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to be heard. And how they feel, how they are heard. Can you imagine I'm talking now and, you know, someone, again, I give the story. You're going, scrolling to your phone. Well, I'll just say, oh, I'm talking to my daughter. I just say, what is it? She just say, oh, daddy, I'm busy. And she's typing on her laptop. No, you will not feel value. You know, you will not feel, oh, what you're saying. How do you make you feel? So what we are learning is to change our world, to change our environment. Because anyone, remember what I said last time, anyone can make a change from anywhere. Okay, so who's next to read? Is it Gloria? Number 5.
You will create positive environment by avoiding conflict and misunderstandings.
Wow, thank you so much, Gloria. You will create what? Positive environment. As a good listener, that is one of the benefits to be a good listener. You know, so you create the positive and a misunderstanding. It's just say, this is what he said. If you're a good listener, you will listen between the lines, not only what the person is trying to say, because what you're making an eye contact. This will improve your job. It will improve your relationship. Because what we are learning is to improve our life and to add value to others. So if you're a good listener, see, positive environment around you, avoid coming. I say, let's say, have you heard this story? If I tell a story, okay, I saw this man, he jumped on the sea and the accident was there. Then I tell to Margaret will explain the story, add her own version and explain it. And we pass it to Donald. Donald will also, by the time you are maybe the fifth listener, you are going to hear different version, the story. But if we are all in the same service, in the same meeting, for example, here we are in Change Your World Transformation table, we are now listening. Now, after today, if I come back or if you go back, because next week, like I said, and we have some action steps to follow. If I say, what did you get from me? Each of us have a different thing that we will get. We cannot always say the same thing. We don't always say the same thing. Why? Because what? You will listen from different perspectives. Now, some of the action steps we're going to take, some of the action steps to take to follow to be what? A good listener. I'll just read it so that we say, listen with an open heart. Be prepared to hear and consider all sides of issue. Have you been in a relationship, be your spouse or brotherly relationship, or be in office, your co-worker? Before the person said something, because you already had a pre-judgmental issue or pre-judgmental theory about the matter, you already concluded, if you say something, that is what I'm going to say. No, be open as a good listener, someone that wants to change your world, someone that wants to be influential as a leader. You want to, what we're learning, we impact your relationship, we impact your work, everything. What do you do? So steps to follow, listen with open mind. I think we can take it again because it's easier to take it together. I think it's better. Right? What do you think? When we read it, it's easier. It becomes alive for us. All these things I've said, you can step to follow. I've already said it earlier on while I'm saying, he says, stop what you're doing. Make eye contact. Be fully engaged. Give other people your undivided attention. Set aside email, phone call, and other potential distractions. Can you imagine when your boss comes to you to talk to you? Okay, Matching or Donald, I need you to do this, and you're just there. You're just okay, boss, okay. You're just typing on your laptop. No, that you just say, my friend, are you getting what I'm saying? No, remember, being a good listener, listen objectively. This one I always like to say, listen. When you approach the conversation with a non-judgmental attitude, you create the trust that is necessary to establish open and honest communication. So, for example, two people are into a relationship, or two, I don't know why I'm using relationship, but two people is always honest. You don't say, oh, because this person is related to me, or because I know this person, this is what I'm going to say. No, be what? Non-judgmental attitude towards what? It creates a balanced information, honest and open. You're not listening to what the person is saying, okay? You're not just listening to what the person is saying. You're listening to how the person says it. Avoid the temptation to think about, okay, no. Number 4, he said, ask questions. Make sure that you really understand this. See, these steps, if you go by, if you practice it just for 1 week, then we will come back to see what happened in your work, in your relationship. Can you imagine now you just go, Margaret, someone is talking, they call you and talking to you. Even if you're on the phone, if I'm on the phone and I'm talking to my spouse, my wife, she knows when I'm listening. She'll just say, oh, honey, are you hearing me? She knows. If you're on the phone without seeing the person, someone knows if you're listening or not. That's how good listener, that is as much as it is. What is this? Whether you're seeing the person or you're not seeing the person. So as the step to follow, so is to know if someone is talking to you, if it's not gossip, if it's not what you don't want to hear, except you don't want to hear it, then you're looking at something else. But if it's what you want to hear, the information, what do? What? Just stop for a minute. There's something you just pause for a minute. He said, yes. So what we, because the person will feel your heartbeat when you're listening to him, whether he's seeing you or not. So as leaders, as people that want to change our world, as people that want to add value, because we are not judgmental in this table. This is a transformation table, and we need to improve our life. We have come here to improve our life. Okay, so you ask questions. You make sure that you really understand the meaning behind what the other person is saying. Wow. Avoid misunderstanding by asking follow-up questions, paraphrasing, or summarize. Okay. Okay. You just say, okay, so summarize the other person. If I tell now, we work in Asian environment, like I said, like this for India is yes, like this is no. So when I was a supervisor a long time ago, you know, when I go to site, I will tell my foreman or my supervisors things to do. I say, did you understand? They say, yes, boss, yes, boss. Then you will go back to office and they will come. They will do exact opposite of what you said. Exact opposite. You'll be amazed. But this guy understands. He said he understood what I said. So now, when I grow, I keep going in my work. What do? When I go, I say, Prasad, I want you to do this, do this, do this. Did you understand me? You say, yes, boss. I'll say, okay, please, can you repeat what I just said for you to do? Then you'll be stunned. Oh, Prasad didn't listen, or Prasad was listening. His mind already said, okay, I want to fabricate 6 spoons, us want 6 spoons. I will say, maybe that day is a different thing because it's a bigger pipe. I say, no, don't fabricate 6, fabricate 3 so that it will be clean. But because he already have a prejudgmental issue, that's what it. So when you ask someone, when you give someone task, you call someone in Kenya, I said, okay, you tell someone, okay, do this for me. The best thing to say is, please, can you just repeat what I just said? Summarize the other person's thought to show that you are listening. If someone can just say, okay, what did I just say? Because you're a good listener, you practice this step. You will say, okay, I said to call you tomorrow at 4 p.m. You get that. To make sure that you truly understand their perspective. That is what a good listener does. To make sure you truly understand their perspective. Avoid the temptation to think about what you're saying, what you're going to say next. This one is when it comes to relationship, when it comes to communication. This is always the problem. Before the person is finished speaking, as I said earlier, you already have your answer to tell the person, be your co-worker. Say, okay, you just said, okay, this person treated this person badly. You say, I'm going to tell the person off. Remember, as a good listener, as someone that wants to change their world, you don't preempt the answer. You just say, okay, have you not been in a conversation, in a relationship, or in somewhere you go, someone tell, oh, this is what NG did to me, this. Say, really? Okay, I'm going to tell NG off. Really? I'm going to speak to NG the way he doesn't understand. I'm going to tell him off. Then you come to NG, be me, and I said, no, this is not what happened. Look at what happened. And because you're a good listener, you are able to listen between the lines. You understand, you pay attention to every person is saying before you formulate your response. You say, especially for me as a mindset coach, you know, when people, especially when people go and said, oh, Angie, look at what this person do. Remember, look at what this person did to me and this, especially when I'm talking to people in relationship. I always say, okay, no problem. Is that what you said? I say, yes. Okay, no problem. Is it possible I speak to the other person? He said, no, no need. No need to speak to him. I say, why? Why shouldn't I speak to him? You just told me what Margaret did to you. Why don't you want me to speak to Margaret? That will make it. You say, no, but as a good listener, you're practicing the person is not really what Margaret said. Look at what happened. And this is now you are, because why? You did not preempt the thing, the temptation to think. Now the person will say, oh no, it didn't happen like this. This is what happened that Margaret did like. You say, okay. So you see now, it's not that has made you to what? Because to change your judgment, because you're listening with attention to whatever everyone has to say, to formulate. Okay, our time is fast spent. We are 10 minutes late, and I just want us to do this reflection before we leave. He said, choose someone that you understand that is important to you. Take a minute to tell everyone what you chose and why the person is important to you. I'm not talking about a person that practices a good listener. That is what we are talking about. It's not, okay, what is the person? Who do you know that practice in your life that we can just share our experience? Okay, as you are today, what benefit will you receive by improving your listening to others? And that this, I will let you to do it on yourself. And when we come back, we can share it. But if anyone wants to share, say, what do you know that, who do you know that exemplify this quality of a good listener? What do you admire most about the person? What specific action, immediate action, can you take to improve your listening? If your rating was 4, like for me, you know, when I started this, my rating was like 2. You know, I moved to 3, I moved to 4, 5. Then I came back to 4 again. Why? Because sometimes you're just coming back, you're tired, your kids are telling you this. You say yes. Meanwhile, you say, my little daughter will tell me, Daddy, they put a slip in my bag. But because I was not listening to him, I did not sign the form the next day or that day. Why? That has affected me because I already said, oh, if I get home, my daughter is going to talk. She's going to talk, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's the word I use. But if I listen to her, I will understand that I say, Daddy, the teacher put something in my folder. I need to take it out. I need to sign. That is what good listening helps us. So what specific action you need to take to improve your listening? You know, take a minute to share. And what can you share, including the steps you can take? Anybody you want to share? Who do you know that is a good listener? What you admire in the person? What is the rate that you want? Okay, I'll stop sharing now. Lynette, you can go first. Do you have anything?
My connection is very poor, so I'm keeping on losing and missing some information.
Okay, no problem. I will share the recording is there, so I will share it.
Okay, please do.
Okay, so anybody want to share something you think you can improve on your listening, or how this lesson of listening can improve? Before it's already 7:02, we should leave at 7:05. I value your time and also value my own time as a, okay. So anybody, Margaret, you have something to say?
No.
Thank you. So who has some? So
Sorry,
now,
can you repeat the question again? Sorry, sir.
okay, I said, who do you know practice good listening and what this can help us to improve? If you have anything to share. We've seen the characteristics of a good listener. We've seen the benefit of a good listener. Remember, thought become action, actions become habit, habits become our destiny. This you will not see it in the outline that we share, but just remember, your thoughts become action, action become habits, habits become our destiny. So right, maybe next week you can share with me privately, who do you can evaluate yourself if you want to, but this is an open, it's not, I want us, because this is a transformation table where we are not judgmental, we are free. You say, what do you give yourself in rating currently where you are right now? How can you say your listening is? What did you give your rating? Is it a 1 to 4 or 5 to 6 or 7, 8? Okay, what benefit? This is what you're going to do. What benefit will you obtain by raising your listening? Then I said, this is the one I want to hear from each and every one of us before we go today. Who do you know that demonstrate this value of listening and why? You know, my son is one person I know that demonstrates the value of listening very well when I'm talking. He will always hear what I said and what I want, not what I think I want to say. My daughter will not hear you, just maybe, okay, he's not hearing it. But my son is one, if I give instruction and leave, he grabs it. And I'm able to help him and I'm able to help myself to increase his listening. So write specific action steps that you will take today to grow this value of listening. So you can checklist your Monday to Thursday and see what you can do. Remember, always we are going to what? Grow, and together we are making changes. So if nobody have anything, anybody have anything? Donald, good to have you. I'm glad to have a male join us. At least I'm not the only male here. So we're going to take our group photograph. Remember, you already know who I am. My name is NG Wanko. I'm a certified speaker, trainer, and coach. The last time I spent, I'm also a behavior analysis consultant, and I'm also an empowered living ambassador online. I share every Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have a host. I host a program on Facebook by my mentor. I've sent my LinkedIn, my Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. I run the Learn to Lead Consult. Is one of the fastest growing leadership expert in the Middle East here, and that is what we want to achieve. And that is why I have come here to add value, and I hope I'm adding value to each and every one of us. I'll just again post the link on the where we are, my Facebook and Twitter and email on it. I'm also a certified virtual presenter. If you go to our links, you can see everything that I'm saying. So I've taken time to add value, and I've taken time. This is what I do, and this is my passion, to be able to add value to everyone. So that's on the chat. You can see the Instagram. Please follow us. You can subscribe. We have sometimes weekly or daily posts that will help you to go through the day. And also, we also do, what's it called now? Transformation action table for each and every one. So can we all, please, we like us to open our camera if it's possible while we take our group photograph. The photograph will be on my Instagram for this lesson too. I didn't post it last week because I didn't get your permission, because it's a free lesson. If it's a paid lesson that I teach, automatically, because people has paid, I will always post it on my Instagram or on my Facebook. But I needed to get your permission because it's a free lesson that I'm offering, and your time. I needed to get your permission before I post it on my Instagram or Facebook. And please follow. So now I have it. So, oh, good to see you, Donald. Thank you so much. So Gloria, are we ready? We are waiting for you. Good. So smile, you can give your smile. So thank you so much. And I hope to see you next week. Yeah, I stopped the recording now.